All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music and real mysteries that continue to pile up, and doing it in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. All right, so the Kinks, their keyboardist from 1970 to about 78, 79, his name is John Gosling. His name was John, it still is, but John Gosling has passed away at the age of 75. And there's this one publication here. I went searching around to see what the cause of death was for John Gosling, so we can all avoid whatever he did. Not to say 75 isn't pretty good. I mean, I guess the life expectancy is something like 78, 79. Although I hear it's been dropping. But Music Times, this is their headline from Music Times. John Gosling, cause of death mysterious. That's what they wrote. Former Kinks keyboardist dead at 75. Now, John Gosling joined in 1970, right in time for Lola, which is such a great period for the Kinks. And then right up through Misfits, which, again, if you're a fan of the Kinks, you know what I'm talking about. This is a great band. Thank God they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because they deserve it. They are the most, I think, out of all the British invasion bands, they are the most focus-tested band, meaning that they just don't get any airplay, at least here in the States. I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but man, the Kinks just can't catch a break on the radio. But such an amazing band. And this, again, is the headline from Music Times. It says, again, mysterious. Cause of death, mysterious. But we're not supposed to look. We're not supposed to care. The news of his death started making rounds online after the band took to their official Twitter account to share the shocking revelation in a thread. We are deeply saddened by the news of the passing of John Gosling. Now, I know, he's 75 years old, and in rock and roll years, that's 105. Okay, it's 105. So nothing to see here. It's just that, again, nobody is giving this information out. Why is it so, I don't know, like a violation of someone's privacy to say, hey, John Gosling died of heart disease. John Gosling died of whatever. And people go, wow, that's sad, and they'll just move on. They're not going to think any less of John Gosling if he died from cancer, or if he died from heart disease, or if he died from something else that we might be able to avoid as humans. If there's an activity that John participated in and did that made it so his death was premature, right? We would want to avoid. I keep saying this in videos. You don't have to believe any of this stuff. You can just, put your head in the sand and keep walking, keep whistling past the graveyard, because this is literally what's happening. Ray Davies said, I will hold deep affection and love for him in my heart always. Great musician and a great man. Ray Davies is one of the coolest dudes. Mick Avery noted that the group lost a dear friend and colleague and was a great musician with a good sense of humor. As of this writing, John Gosling's family has yet to share an official statement about his death. There was also no cause of death given to the public. Okay, so that's it. Nothing really to see here. No cause of death. Don't worry about it. He's 75. It was his time. The Kinks, they're a band that everybody is forgetting about, or has already forgotten about. Not really part of the American radio landscape anymore, unless you have satellite radio, and then, you get some of the music that they're not playing on terrestrial radio. But of course, you have to pay for what you once got for free. I would listen to a few ads to hear a bigger playlist, but I understand why people subscribe to Sirius XM, because there's the creativity. The imagination of most radio stations is just pathetic. So it's all just, canned and sent in from the the beehive, the host that sends it all, regardless of what city you're living in. That's why I tell people about Modern Retro Radio, modernretrofm.com, great radio station, internet station that you can listen to. And you won't be bored with it because there's so much variety over there. Anyway, that's a side note. The continuous, like, stream almost daily of no cause of death, that should concern people. It doesn't seem to, because they think I'm a conspiracy theorist. And how many of those things that were said in 2020, how many of those so-called conspiracies, how many of those have actually come true? Here's the problem, though. The media is never going to tell you that they've come true. They're just not going to talk about it anymore. They'll just skip over that. Like, oh, how can you not believe in going to CVS 4 times a year? Because it doesn't work. How's that? It's not working. In fact, it may be working against a lot of people here. And I don't know if John followed the protocol. I'm assuming he's in the UK or was in the UK. I don't know. I'm not sure where he lived, but my guess is probably the UK. And look at the protocols there. Now, obviously, he wasn't out on tour with the Kinks because the Kinks have been, and he left the Kinks in 1978. And I think he started his own little Kinks band of former members. And then he probably retired a number of years ago. I don't know. But the lack of curiosity overall in the media, it's stunning. It's stunning. I mean, these people want to know every little bit of information about you. Any little piece of dirt that they can find to indict you on, right? Anything, they'll do that. But in this case, they just, we don't, wonder what it is. Somebody should just write an article about, wonder what's causing all of this stuff, and then go down the list of things. I think it might be climate change. That's what I think. I think it's climate change, and I think it's probably white supremacy is number 2. So climate change 1, white supremacy 2, that's probably what is causing all of these problems. But again, until they publish a study telling me the correlation, what is it? Causation is not correlation, or correlation isn't causation. One of those two. But somebody should put a study out there. And then, we can put all this to bed and just move on with our lives and not worry about some mystery phantom illness that seems to be everywhere. Just, again, putting it out there. All right, people. That's it. John Gosling was a great musician. Go back and listen to his work on those Kinks albums, and you'll see what I'm talking about, or hear it. All right. God bless. See ya.